I thought I would do a free session based on tea. So I've got some different cups, beautiful bone china teacup. This was given to me from my grandma, and I've got an SS Great Britain mug, which is actually one of my husband's favourite mugs. I better not break that. So I'm just going to show you how to do some basic fun sketching with these, which shouldn't be too challenging, just a little bit of fun. Okay, so I'm going to move my camera over and show you how to do that. Sometimes starting a drawing can feel a little bit overwhelming, and it's a bit difficult to know where to start, what to do. So the key thing is just to kind of familiarise yourself with the shapes, but also not only that, maybe have some fun exploring the shapes. So by us looking at the shapes, the form of the mug, the cup, so to speak, and taking away the detail, that's much more enjoyable because we're not putting ourselves under all this pressure to produce this really highly detailed cup drawing. I'm just going to have some fun with this, and hopefully you guys will too. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plate, and I'm just literally going to draw around it. Now, if you didn't have a little saucer, you could do a smaller plate. You might not even want to do a plate. You might want to do a bowl, the edge of the bowl. But we're just doing it like that. And then what I can do is I can then potentially place in the middle of that the other circle. So I'm going to sketch this out. Like so. I mean, you could actually use the other side of the teacup if that's easier to get you a perfect circle. I'm then going to also draw around the teacup this way. And then from doing that, I'm going to put in, so I'm just going to turn this upside down and loosely get that in the right place, and then draw this little circle for the end. And then you can loosely apply the details. Coming up and down to show the saucer. So we're just getting some really abstract shapes, which is what I'm enjoying from doing this. I'm then going to have a go at doing the same thing with this one. So let's maybe position that slightly differently. The hardest challenge is to try and keep the pencil in the same place. So there you go. Now we have a mug and some interesting shapes. So something that potentially could be quite challenging, quite complicated, because it's got silver, it's got flowers, it's got bits that come in and out, has now completely simplified it by just doing a drawing around the outside. So from that, I'm going to take my pot of colouring pencils here, and I'm just going to, every time that the line hits over the top, I'm just going to change the colour. So I'm going to work with my purple initially. And notice I'm just doing it in that bit where it overlaps. Okay, now I'm going to change a different colour. So I might actually work with a yellow because that's opposite on the colour wheel. And if I wanted to, just to kind of make this look a little bit more interesting and not so flat, because just by me doing just one layer of colour, this is looking quite flat, I could add a little bit of tone into that. So just to give it a little bit of warmth, perhaps some tonal shading, I'm going to add, is that a different yellow? That's a different yellow, yeah, slightly darker yellow, more golden at the top here, coming down. So I'm pressing a little bit harder over the top to help make that come through. And then I'm also going to use a little bit of orange over the top of that as well. Oh, this one's gone a bit funny. I'm just going to swap that. So you can just see by me adding a little bit of tone onto the top there. It's just giving it a little bit of context. And I can do the same with a dark blue on this edge. So I'm making sure I'm swapping, say, there's sort of alternative parts here. So I've gone from dark to light and then dark to light that way. So then it's thinking about, okay, what other colour could I do potentially around here? I might actually choose, because that could swap back to the purple around the outside here. I think that would look quite nice. So I'm trying to keep the direction in which I'm shading it the same as well. So notice this, I'm kind of fanning that around as I go round and going a bit lighter. I'm just going to slightly bring it down. So I'm going that way just to kind of get that edge nice and smooth. So you could do this with any objects. It doesn't have to be teacups and mugs. It could be any object. Could be stationery, could be keys, could be anything that you've got around the house. So I can do the same thing here. I'm just bringing that along and down just to kind of help giving it some sort of depth, which you can start to see is happening. I think what I might do in the middle is more of an orange. So I'm going to do this way. And I'm just going to add a bit of that golden yellow over the top. And I might also add, so I'm not pressing too hard with this, I'm just sort of lightly blending that over the top there. I press hard where it's a bit darker. And I might also add a slightly darker orange that I have to hand here too, just to kind of help really exaggerate that tone. I'm just bringing a bit more of this purple down. So that kind of works a bit better. And then I'm going to do another bit of purple in here. So this time I'm going to do it from this way, coming up. And I'm taking the pressure off a little bit as I come further up there. And I'm going to add some darker tone of blue over the top. So you can see you're starting to get this really interesting cubist piece come to life, and I'm just chopping and changing between those. So I'm going to do a bit here, and I'll use the blue again. And then this is a different object entirely, so it might be quite nice to highlight that by doing a completely different colour. I might choose, let's see, to do, might be quite nice to do a light blue with, well, a blue with a, I've currently got purple and yellow, so you could do blue and orange because that's also opposites, and this could be the red and the green, which should be quite interesting. So I'm working with the complementary colour wheel here. So if I do the light blue, starting lightly, pressing hard, and then taking the pressure off. So that could be there. This one could now be there. So you can just do it like this if you want, with the same colour, just to work out where things are going to be initially. That needs to kind of come down. So that can also be here. And then this is going to be a big bit, which is in that colour as well. Oh, that's not very helpful, is it? My pencil has just broken. Oh, I've got another one here. Let's just use that. So when you're shading, just some top tips here, because sometimes it can feel like you want to do an effect which looks like this, but actually we want to do sort of squashed circles, so elongated circles, which looks a bit more like that. So try and get your pencil to move in the same way as that of some circles. And then I need to press a bit harder at the top. I'm going back over. So So in theory, what we're doing here is a cubism technique. It's quite a fun way of just playing with shape and colour and not worrying too much about the details and the complexities of the shape. We're just kind of putting down some loose suggestions. So then if I go for the orange, start hard and then take the pressure off. Start hard and then take the pressure off. And then I'm also going to go back over with my darker blue. So just to really exaggerate some of the tone with the lighter blue here. So you can start to see just by me adding a little bit of extra depth to that, that's looking a lot more interesting. I'm going to go over and add the yellow into this one. And I'm going to add a bit darker yellow. And then a bit of the paler orange. I might just use a bit of that also over this dark orange as well, just so it gives it a bit more depth the more you layer up the colours. And then it's thinking about what you do for this colour here. So let's say, oh, and I've got those bits too, I forgot about that. So those bits are also overlapping, so you could do a little bit of yellow there, and a bit of purple. And the reason I'm using purple is because that is part of the original handle of the teacup underneath. Going to go over that bit with a bit of purple because I didn't see that little cross there, so that's fine. Doesn't matter. Basically, the whole point to this exercise is just having some fun with exploring shape and colour, and as a result I've got an interesting abstract picture just from doing that. The last thing that I'm going to do is work with some of the greens. So if I took this lighter green, this is quite a large area, so another option that you could do if you wanted to break it up a little bit is you could actually add a teaspoon. So again, you could draw around a teaspoon. Okay, so I've got a teaspoon, so we could break this up a little bit to make it look a little bit more interesting, perhaps by having a teaspoon here. So something like that. So if we had the middle a red, so start off lightly and then work into it a bit more. I'm just going to go over slightly darker red here. Again, if you wanted to split this up some more, you could. There's nothing to stop you from doing that. So, you know, please have a go at doing that if you want to. That's going to also be red. So this little bit at the end here is going to be green. So I'm starting off with a lighter green and then taking the pressure off. You can use a darker green over the top, or you could also use a dark blue over the top where you want it to be darker. Okay. And I've got to decide, let's say we go for this bit to be darker, going lighter. So hold your pencil further up because it's a bigger space. So that will just allow your hand to have a bit more surface area to cover. And to make that colour pop a little bit more, I could add a light yellow just in the lighter area here, just to build up some of the colour a bit more. And then I can use the darker green over the top. And now I'm just going to do this one red. And you know, it's up to you if you want to add in extra details. Like you can see that the tonal shading on this is helping to give the piece depth, interest, rather than flat colour. Some of you might just want to have flat colour, and that's fine as well. Some of you might want to look at the teaspoon and choose to deliberately leave some bits lighter like this, so that you kind of get that suggestion of the curvature of the shape of the teaspoon as well. So there's no wrong or right way of doing it. It's just about what perhaps you see, but we're just working with different colours to take away that stress, I guess, of feeling like it needs to be perfect, which is what stops us in our track sometimes when we come to doing a drawing. It's just important just to enjoy the process and have some time switching off and just being mindful, really. Now, some other colours that I could add to this to make this stand out, which sounds crazy, but I could add a blue, which is just going to add further shadow, a little bit further depth. I'm not pressing too hard. I'm just working it into the slightly darker area here. And the same thing. Just adding that little bit of darker blue on some of these areas will just help give it that oomph. So this is known as analogous colour. So you end up with what looks like quite an interesting image just from a teacup and a mug. So have a go, try and find some objects that you'd like to draw around the outside of, and have a go at trying to make them cubist, slightly different, interesting, to create a new different image. Share what you've done at Green Fox Workshops. Tag me on Instagram or Facebook. It's always really good to see, and it means I can share it really easily, as well as it helps spread the word about what I'm doing. And yeah, hopefully see you at a session soon. Thanks for watching.